Okay, video is getting really long. So our planes take off, and they go over there, and they after the airplanes have dropped the bombs, our airplanes take off, and they drop relief care workers, medical supplies, food and water, and stuff like that, right? So what's going on there? You know, well, what's going on there is Munchausen's by proxy. What's going on there is full spectrum domination. So first, the basic rule of full spectrum domination is you create a crisis and you fix, and the person who creates the crisis is the same person who is there and called in to fix the crisis. So you bomb. Now, think about what your options are. If you want to subdue a culture, if you want to subdue a city, you could go in there and bomb it. You could put your boots on the ground, and you could go in there like Darth Vader and the Imperial forces, and you could just step on everybody's neck, and you could just be in control. Okay? That's barbaric. It's stupid. It's thoughtless. But it's straightforward, right? But it's barbaric, stupid, and thoughtless, right? The more clever way to do things is to strike some kind of a deal with either an enemy or an ally, doesn't matter which, where they go and do the damage, because maybe that town maybe they have some shared strategic interest in having that town under your control. Who knows, you know? Or maybe you agree to share control with them, or maybe whatever. Maybe they have some resource and you only want control, you don't want the resource, but they don't care about control and they want the resource. So, you know, you could strike any type of a full myriad spectrum of deals with either an ally or an enemy, doesn't matter which, to accomplish things that you need to accomplish. The point is that you're all working under the same command. You're all working toward this, not all, but both of you are working toward the same end, right? So you could go in it. Now, if you went in there yourself like Darth Vader and the Imperial forces, then everybody in that town would hate you forever. And as long as you ruled, they would be seeking to overthrow your rule, right? So it would be a very painful ruling experience. But if you fabricate some story about an enemy, could be real. This is where the nuance and the variation comes in, and the artwork of it all comes in. It could be a natural enemy of these people. It could be a natural ally. It could be any type of a situation. If you fabricate some story that those other stupid evil people over there came over here and dropped bombs on you, which technically is true, they did. You're just not telling them that they're under your command. They drop bombs on you. Now we're the saviors on the white horses. We're coming in to save you. And by the way, since your infrastructure is wrecked, we're going to fix your infrastructure. And by the way, since we're fixing your infrastructure, we're going to be in control of your culture. Okay? The difference is that you're going to be welcomed as a hero. You're going to be welcomed as a saving grace, whatever terminology you want to be, whatever terminology you want. And people are going to hand the broken, desperate people of that culture, or that town, are going to, not only are they willingly going to hand control of their culture over to you, they are going to be clamoring and hoping and praying that you take control, because you're strong, right? And you're resourceful, and you'll help them get back on their feet. And then after they get back on their feet, they can negotiate how to get back control of their culture, which may or may not ever happen. But the point is that they're desperate. So that's what full spectrum domination is. It's basically extrapolated Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and it all works on the same basic principle in practice. You know, it's very different in practice because scale matters. Scale matters massively. Scale matters dramatically. You know, that's why the law of the individual doesn't apply to the law of the aggregate. At least they're not exactly the same. There's a wide variance. There's a huge difference. The practice of cutting down a tree that's 1 inch in diameter is massively different than cutting down a tree that's 30 feet in diameter at the base. It's the same basic principle, but the practice is completely different. So Munchausen by proxy at the interpersonal level, same basic principle as full spectrum domination, but the practice is completely different, but they are the same. So if you ever hear anybody say full spectrum domination, I think I might have just remembered one of the other principles that it's related to, false flags. Yeah, it is related. It is related to false flag. So false flags, full spectrum domination, and Overton window. There's at least one more, might be two more other concepts that are related. These three things are related. It's all very fascinating if you start to think about it on your own, in your own time, in your own mind, in your own terms, in your own personal vernacular, and personally with your own personal experience guiding you and advising you. Everybody's going to have a little bit different take on it because everybody's experience is different, but it's all very fascinating. So, I think it informs us. I think it informs us as to what the potential is for what's happening to us at a macro level, and I think it informs us as to what might be potentially happening to us at an interpersonal level, and I think that it informs us as to what we should and should not do at an interpersonal level, because if you don't know that this is a principle, you might inadvertently engage in it and not really realize what's going on and what the moral and ethical implications are, right? Like, to me, it's extremely immoral. But if I didn't know that this was a thing and didn't really understand the various pieces of it, maybe I wouldn't really think about it. I really wouldn't think twice about it. Maybe I would just engage in it, and it's effective and it gets done what needs to get done. So what's wrong with it, But if I understand it, well, now I know that, hey, wait a minute, this is not cool, It's not cool to use people. It's not cool to sabotage or hurt people to get what you want. The whole concept is just immoral. It's very evil and dark. So it should be avoided at all costs. So anyway, I think that it's good for those reasons. God bless everybody. Thank you for listening, if in fact you did. And have a wonderful day. Bye.